Freya Fateweaver. Is she worth it? Let's check it out. Docky Raids here, guys, and we're looking at Freya Fateweaver, the new guaranteed champion from the Barbarian faction, and we're gonna see what the crack is with her, if she is any good at all, or if she should be an instant skip. So let's check it out. I think I'm not sure of initial sentiment. I think folk are only getting used to, there's so many champions coming out between Loki, Freya, Thor, and Odin himself as well. So with her, let's look at her A1. So attacks all enemies, has a 25% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn, books up to a 40% chance. Then with is it Fearsome Presence, that'll get that up to a 45% chance on an AoE. That's pretty good for Hydra, and it also counterattacks with this skill when a shield buff placed by her is removed by damage. Okay, so not when it's stolen. That's a bit cheeky, because it being stolen would be the main way it's going in Hydra and stuff like that, so it should be just when it's removed at all. But I think we're going to be okay. So that's a good move. That's a good start. An AoE A1 on a defensive based champion. It's pretty nice. And then Prismatic Aegis. That was Height Spear. Prismatic Aegis places a 60% increased defense debuff on all allies for 2 turns. Also places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns. The value of the shield is proportional to her defense and each target champion's max HP. Now, we have never seen this calculation for a shield before, so I suspect it's going to be huge, because it's a new metric. Like, I remember when, was it Valkyrie that had the first defense based shield? And I think maybe UDK was the next one. Everybody else before that, it was based on their health. And when it came out with defense, it was notable that it was really good and really strong. So the fact that it's based on her defense and each target's max HP, I believe this is going to be a really good shield. And you're going to have increased defense as well. So the other thing is, does she place the increased defense first and then the shield? If so, the scaling on the shield or for defense and that is going to be massive. So you're going to be getting really, really tanky shields. She also, when booked, brings that down to a 3 turn and gets 20% more on the shield itself as well. So we have a lot of stuff there to multiply out the strength of the shield. I think that's going to be very, very good for Freya and for keeping your team alive. So good to see. Now this next one, I think, is the big selling point of Freya. Currently, there are 3 champions in the game that do this. The last one that came out, Biohack identified early and went mad for, and she's his favorite champion for Arena. He has her at +3. Potentially is able to +4 her, but needs another faction guardian first, and that is Kajad Arai. So what does this move do, and why is it so good? Goldweave, 5 turn, books to 3 turn, removes all debuffs. So that part is even better. Removes all debuffs, so a full team cleanse, then places block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns, which is huge. But there's loads of other champions that have that, and then fills the turn meter of all allies by 20%. That is massive. That's better than Sify. Okay, let that sink in. Take a second. I'll say it again. This is better than Sify. So Sify does something similar, but it's only a 10% increase, and I think it maybe heals as well. I don't have Sify myself, so I'm not 100% sure, but let's transition over and you can have a quick look. Places a block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns, so doesn't cleanse first, then fills the turn meter of all allies by 10%, and places increased defense and increased speed. So she doesn't cleanse, and she only increases the turn meter by 10%. Freya does it by 20%, and that's why she is so good there. With the full cleanse, AoE cleanse, block debuffs, and then fills the turn meter. That means that any passives at the start of an arena match or whatever, Freya's going to get rid of those. She's going to put block debuffs on the team, so that means Tormund's not going to interfere with any buffs going on, and then she's going to fill the turn meter by 20%. That also means Tormund cannot interfere with the turn meter. It's huge. It's huge, guys. It's really good, and it just means you have one less thing to worry about when you go into arena. That's recently why I built up Loriaka as my fastest champion, was because she had block buffs and a 20% turn meter fill. This also has a full team cleanse. It's so much better. So she's extremely strong. And then on top of that, we have the passive effect, which increases her defense by 5% every time an ally inflicts a critical hit, which stacks up to 50%. So her shields are going to be at 210% of her defense, basically, and the target max HP. Shields are going to be whopper coming out of her. I've said it, whopper. So active effect then prevents the death of an ally with the highest crit damage except this champion, and keeps them alive with 1 HP when hit with a fatal hit. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, this effect will only activate once, then heals that ally by 20% of their max HP and activates an instant turn effect on them as well. So this is all good. This is somebody insert the meme here. Who is it? Chap with the deep voice. Oh god, why can't I think of his name? Markiplier? Is it Markiplier? So this, I love this. This is my favorite thing. But this is everything. This is awesome. So yeah, really good champion. Definitely worth the 20 shards. Because you're not just going to get her into 20 shards. You know, a guaranteed champion, you have to pull shards together, yada yada yada. But you're not just getting her. It's not like you have to sell the shards, not get the profits from that. You are going to use them and you're going to get her on the way as well. Now, a lot of us may not have anything left. I know I'm pretty low on stuff at the moment, but if you can get the stuff together to get her, I would absolutely recommend it. The fact that your team can be nuked and she will keep that one person alive, heal them a bit, and give them an instant turn as your nuker, that's massive. So let's say you have Georgid. You have Freya, Georgid, and whoever else. A load of maybe wimpy support champions that can't take a hit. Enemy team outspeeds you. They come in, hit everybody, kill everybody. But Freya keeps Georgid alive, heals him a little bit, gives him a turn straight away. Georgid can go in with his A3, bust through any stone skin, kill an enemy champion, and then move on to his A2 and AoE nuke the enemy team. Guys, it's not even a question. Go for Freya. She's a great champion. You won't regret it from what I can see. So that's my thoughts. Dahi Raids out. Like and subscribe, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye bye.